Hey everybody, Final Flame Productions back with another Dexter video. Today I want to talk about the alternative ending that was planned for Dexter. I'm not sure how long it goes back to, but Clyde Philips, who the showrunner of season 1 to 4 and Dexter New Blood, suggests that he had another ending. He seems hell-bent on that he wanted to kill Dexter. So I'm going to talk about that alternative ending later in the video that he talked about. But first I want to start off with three alternative endings that I thought up, and I think it's pretty interesting. I think if down below, if you have your own alternative endings that you want to talk about as well, these are three that I put together. Now these are three sort of in keeping of what happened in Dexter New Blood, because there's no point going back and redoing the whole season or redoing 4 or 5 episodes ago. They could have saved this somewhat by fixing the finale and not having such a rushed. I mean, the ending of Dexter New Blood, spoilers ahead obviously, but I just watched it again there, and it really is terrible. I mean, you have Dexter just snapping the neck and killing the policeman, and it's just not in keeping with him. He wouldn't do something like that. I think Clyde Philips in an article says that the script and the storytelling just led them to having Dexter kill this person. That's just so lazy. That's like they writ themselves into a corner by having all this evidence against him and by putting him in a prison cell. And no easy way to get out. So they writ themselves into a corner, and then they just completely betray the character by making him kill an innocent person and not really give a crap, because you see Dexter just sneak away and slither away, and there's no guilt. If there was a whole season about him killing an innocent person and feeling the guilt of that, and what has he become? But no, he just didn't give a shit. He just wanted to break free, and he didn't care who he killed in the middle of it. Would he have killed his girlfriend or daughter? It truly is insane how they betrayed the character so much. But anyway, I was pretty much going to start my first ending. My first ending goes back to when Dexter and Angela are being Angela is cross-examining and going through all the evidence she has on Dexter, and this is when Dexter, in the original ending, he tells Angela where the bodies are that Kurt Caldwell hid away. All the women that he killed. So my plan there was that he has this piece of information. Dexter knows the location of where all these bodies are. And he knows where the body of Kurt Caldwell is that he killed. So these are all these, and he obviously killed Kurt Caldwell's son as well. So he knows where all the woman is that. Well, obviously Dexter didn't kill those. That was Kurt, but he knows where he disposed of the bodies of Kurt and his son. So my idea for the first alternative ending is where Dexter tells Angela that he'll reveal where Kurt hid all the bodies, which is something that Angela wants to find. But he'll only tell her this, because obviously this is a big thing for her to find out about. He'll only tell her this if she agrees to try his case in New York, where I believe the show is set in Iron Lake. I could be wrong in this, where there is no death penalty. She says that she wants to try his case in Miami, obviously because all the killings that he did in Miami, and that there's death penalty there, so that's where she hopes that he'll get the death penalty for all he's done. But my idea is that he tells Angela that he'll tell her where the location is of all the bodies that Kurt killed, all the women from Iron Lake, in exchange for her trying the case, because he knows at this point, if we just go along with what the show has done, because we know they've a lot of plot holes, and that really Dexter probably could get away with this, and but let's just go along with the show, that he felt that he had no other way to go. So she'll try the case in New York, in agreement that he doesn't have to be tried on the Miami murders. So she agrees to waive the Miami murders, as there is possibly little evidence to put him away with. If he agrees to telling her where Kurt hid the bodies, and agreeing to to admit guilt for Kurt Caldwell and Kurt Caldwell's son's deaths. So that's a way for her to get him, put him in prison, and for him to avoid the death penalty, which he would have got in Miami. So this ending, which I've only quickly thought through it, so there probably is some plot holes. But again, I've thought of these kind of very. Basically, these are obviously things, if you're really writing a show, we don't know if the real writers do this, but we really would have to really think through it and figure out the specifics of it. But the mindset is that it's a way for Dexter to come clean with all he's done, but also avoid being put to death. So Batista returns, and he's angered, obviously, by finding out what Dexter's done, but he's also angered that Dexter and Angela have created this plea bargain, this deal, that Dexter doesn't get tried in Miami, and possibly you could have it that the deal means that if he's not tried for the murders of Miami, that means that Dokes and LaGuerta's, the truth about their innocence, and the truth about Dokes' innocence and LaGuerta's, who killed LaGuerta, and all the reasons around, all the details around those two cases never come to light, which would piss off Batista, and you could have Batista trying to get at Dexter. That would be a really cool confrontation between the two of those. And I also thought, if you're going to put Dexter to prison, which is something that people really wanted, I mean, obviously, I feel Clyde Philips, the showrunner of Dexter, wanted to put him to prison so he would get put to the lethal injection. We'll come back to that in a while later. But my idea is, if you put Dexter to prison and he has to spend life in prison because of what he's done. But I had the idea that if Dexter was in prison, it'd be cool if the ending of the show had Dexter in prison and kind of being all depressed and alone and just somber and figuring that his dark passenger is just going to drive him crazy. But then he witnesses somebody getting in a corridor being stabbed, by a shiv or something. And this man gets stabbed in the back, and this reminds Dexter of him stabbing and killing his victims. And then we see the guards looking the other way, because obviously they've been paid off by some sort of really kind of dastardly prison criminal or something. And Dexter's eyes light up because he figures that if he could get in with people like this in his time in prison, that he could feed his dark passenger by killing people that fit the code, because obviously there's going to be some pretty terrible people in this prison. So it's an idea for Dexter, kind of embraces the idea of prison life, and still fitting the code and still feeding his dark passenger by killing people. Which I think is an interesting, again, it's something I just thought of offhand, but I think it's an interesting, in an ideal world, you could do a Dexter in prison season, which would be really awesome. I think there could be a lot of cool stuff you could do with it, which pisses me off even more when you think about them just finishing the finale so depressingly and so rushed, when there are all these things that, even if there's plot holes and things I'm talking about, they sound a lot more interesting and cool than what we got. So my other ending goes back to the moment where Logan has the gun, is trying to get the gun to kill Dexter when he's choking him. So my idea here is, instead of Dexter for some reason just turning dark side completely and snapping the neck of Logan, Logan gets away, pulls the gun on Dexter, and he's about to shoot him, or he's telling Dexter to back off. Harrison then appears in the police station, and Harrison's got his rifle with him, and there's a struggle between Harrison and Logan, and Harrison shoots Logan accidentally and kills him, and Dexter and Harrison are just gobsmacked at that they've accidentally killed an innocent, which is a lot more believable than Dexter just killing some random innocent policeman and Logan. So then Dexter and Harrison get away in the van while the police and FBI circle in and try to find Dexter and Harrison, and that would be a way for both of them to get away. And then the show, you could have Batista come in, because obviously in a better finale you would have Batista return and actually be in the season finale, and have some closure to what, because he says, "I'm coming in the morning," and we never get to see him again, which is just an astoundingly terrible decision by the writers to tease his return and meeting with Dexter and not give it. Or at least with this, he might meet Dexter, but at least he would return and we'd see him. But my idea then is to end that season. If Dexter and Harrison get away, they chat about going to California. I could be wrong, but I believe they mentioned going to California. So the season would end with it shows California, and you see Harrison kind of in this dodgy kind of pub or nightclub of some sort, and you're wondering, well, why is he in here? And then this guy comes up to him and starts talking. He starts chatting up Harrison and kind of grooming him. He's this older dude, and we get information that this guy is a sexual predator, kind of somebody that's killed and kind of groomed younger kids in his past. And Harrison follows this guy outside, and this guy's about to abduct or attack Harrison wherever he's taking him. But then Dexter comes up behind with the injection, the needle, and takes this guy down. And then we see Dexter and Harrison wrapping this guy up and about to kill him. So we then end with the season with Dexter and Harrison working together, and maybe you could get a moment with Harrison where you see he's not taking the death of killing Logan very well, which could lead into another season. So this is an ending which gives an interesting thing where Harrison accidentally killed Logan, which is an excuse to get Dexter out of prison and free, but it also gives an interesting reason for them accidentally killing Logan instead of Dexter actually makes a decision to kill Logan, which didn't sit well with fans. And this gets Dexter and Harrison free, and they're on the run. And then we set up another season where Dexter and Harrison are working together. And obviously Harrison isn't quite over killing Logan, which I think is an interesting setup. But again, the ending we got was just terrible. So all of this, even if people are like, oh, I don't like that part of it, I think it's a lot better than we got in the finale. The other one's a little bit easier to cut around if they were going to, if they had the sense to go back and recut the finale, where Harrison has the gun on Dexter and wants to shoot him because he doesn't like that Dexter's killed Logan. So we're going to keep the Dexter's killed Logan. Again, I'm just trying to work with the crap that they give us in Dexter New Blood finale. So in this ending, this is my third ending, final ending. I'm just putting out there. Again, you can put your own down below in the comments. Dexter tells Harrison to put the gun away, and Harrison aims it at him, and we see Harrison shoot. And then we get a cutoff to Angela coming in the car, and she arrives on the scene. We see blood on the ground, and we see Harrison with the gun, but there's no Dexter. And Angela says, where did Dexter go? And Harrison says, I tried to shoot him, I tried to kill him, but he got away. And she says, what direction? And we see that Harrison lies and tells her the wrong direction to tell her backup police and stuff to look. So we then see Dexter sort of trying to run through the forest with a wound, and we see a flashback where Harrison was aiming at the gun at the heart of Dexter, but he turns it more to his shoulder and shoots him there to make out that he tried to stop his dad, but he really didn't want to stop him. He wanted to give him a chance to get away. So I think that's a nice way for Dexter to be free and possibly set up for another season. But it also shows you that Harrison, while he wasn't happy and didn't accept or want to come with his dad, didn't want to kill him, which I think rings a lot more true than having him just kill his dad, just cold blood like that out of the blue. It just didn't make sense at all. But the real alternative finale that Clyde Philips originally planned, I believe it was years ago, which I think is vague, maybe sort of vaguely better than what we got. But Clyde Philips says that they're just starting to administer. This is a quote from Clyde Philips from a few years ago, I think. They're just starting to administer the drugs, and he looks out the window to the observation gallery, and in the gallery are all the people that Dexter killed, including Trinity Killer, the Ice Truck Killer, LaGuardia, who's responsible for killing Dokes, who he's arguably responsible for, Rita, who he's arguably responsible for Lila, all the big deaths, and also whoever the weekly episodic kills were, they're all there. That's what I envisioned for the ending of Dexter, that everything we've seen over the past 8 seasons has happened in the several seconds from the time they started the execution to the time they finished the execution, and he dies. Literally, his life flashed before his eyes as he was about to die. I think it would have been a great, epic, very satisfying conclusion. So this finale of him and the on death row, been put to death. I like it. I like it more so. I don't like the idea of killing Dexter. I know a lot of people think it needed to happen, and obviously some of the actors and showrunners thought that as well. But I think if you're going to do this, if they'd have done this in the New Blood finale, it would have still been really rushed. I think you would need a really good build-up to getting to the point of just killing off this character. But it'd have been a hell of a lot better than what we got in this New Blood finale, which I think is just terrible. So again, what do you think of my 3 alternative endings to Dexter New Blood? And what do you think about the other alternative ending that Clyde Philips had in the past? Which do you think is the best, or do you have your own? Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.